Elizabeth had been working the streets for years, her beauty and charm captivating many men. But despite her tough exterior, she had a deep sense of vulnerability and shame. She had made choices in her past that she couldn't erase, and they haunted her every day. One day, a young man named Luke began to frequent the streets where Elizabeth worked. He would often look at her with a curious expression, and Elizabeth couldn't help but notice him. As time passed, Luke's visits became more frequent, and Elizabeth found herself looking forward to seeing him. One day, Luke mustered up the courage to approach Elizabeth. He looked up at her with wide eyes and said, "I love you, Elizabeth." Elizabeth was taken aback by the man's bold declaration. She didn't know how to respond, but she knew she couldn't let him get too close. Luke continued to profess his love for Elizabeth, but she pushed him away. She told him that she was too old for him, that she was too damaged. But Luke wouldn't give up. He told her that he didn't care about her past, that he loved her for who she was. As the days turned into weeks, Elizabeth found herself softening towards Luke. She began to see the good in him, the kindness and the love that he offered her. But she was still haunted by her past, by the abortions she had undergone and the fact that she had no womb. Elizabeth confided in Luke about her past, and to her surprise, he wasn't deterred. He told her that he loved her, not for her ability to bear children, but for who she was as a person. He said that they could adopt children, that they could build a family together. Elizabeth was touched by Luke's words, and for the first time in years, she felt a sense of hope. She realized that she didn't have to be defined by her past, that she could create a new future with Luke. As the months passed, Elizabeth and Luke's relationship blossomed. They would spend hours talking, laughing, and getting to know each other. Elizabeth had never felt this way about anyone before, and she knew that she had found her soulmate in Luke. A year after they met, Luke proposed to Elizabeth, and she said yes. They got married in a small ceremony, surrounded by friends and family. Elizabeth felt like the luckiest woman alive, and she knew that she owed it all to Luke. After the wedding, Elizabeth and Luke decided to adopt a child. They went through the process, and eventually, they were matched with a young boy named Brown. They brought him home, and Elizabeth felt a sense of joy that she had never felt before. As they sat down to dinner, Elizabeth looked at Luke and Brown, and she knew that she had found her happily ever after. She had found love, acceptance, and a family, and she knew that she would never let them go.